Hey guys on YouTube, so this is my video for the top 10 Mac utility apps of 2013. What I'll do is I'll put in the list of the top 10 in the description below with the links to download so that you can check them out after. There will be 7 free apps and 3 of them are paid apps. I'll go through the free apps first and then I'll go through the paid apps. To start, I'll get started with Dropbox. Dropbox is a very nice free app. Dropbox is a cloud-based server which allows you to store stuff on the internet in the cloud. You need an account for Dropbox, but if you use Dropbox and you have a Dropbox account, it is a very effective app. It's very easy to use. It's right there in the top, and it says right there that it's up to date. So basically what I do is I quickly drag something in and show you how it works. Dropbox folder, and there's your Dropbox folder, and it's shown up in my favorites, but it's just in your name under right there, and then it's right there, Dropbox, and a little tick to show you when it's up to date. So simply I'll just basically just move one of my screenshots on my desktop inside, and as you'll see it has a little 2 arrows following each other to show that it's updating. You click on that and it will tell you that it's up to date. It was really quick to update that, but basically that's how easy it is, that's how quick it is. You just drag and drop, and it's that simple. And if you click on the Dropbox and you click Dropbox.com, it will take you through to Dropbox.com. It's a very nice, easy app. The preferences, as far as it goes, it shows you how much that you're using, and pretty much it's the best app that I would suggest for cloud-based. It's very nice and very easy to use. The next app that I will show you today is called NoSleep. Now, NoSleep is an app that prevents your Mac laptop from sleeping when you close the lid. So basically the way that NoSleep works is that you click it and it turns on, or you can double click it and it will turn on. And basically you can close your Mac lid and it will continue to keep running everything it's got in the background. So if I right click, you can have a look at the preferences. And as you see, it says never sleep on AC adapter, never sleep on battery, and you can just tick that, and basically that's how it works. And it can require a password when you open your Mac, but basically it keeps your Mac running. If you're moving files and you want to close the lid and you don't want to leave the laptop open, say to accidentally knock your screen or whatever, and it just makes it a lot easier to use. It keeps everything open, all the network ports and everything like that. So if you're streaming music on iTunes, and you've got it streaming to an AirPlay device, and if you close the lid and you've got NoSleep selected and on, then basically it will continue to run. So that's NoSleep, and that's a free app, and I think it's a very good app. The next app I will show you is called Caffeine. Caffeine is a very similar app to NoSleep, but it's more specifically designed for when you're actually using your computer and you just toggle it on and off. Basically what Caffeine does is if you're watching a movie per se, or doing something else in your Mac, you have your settings to fall asleep really quickly, or you're not using your mouse and you like to save power so that you have the automatic sleep for 30 seconds or a minute or whatever. If you have Caffeine on, it's really easy to just click on, click off, and it will basically just keep your Mac going while you're using it. It's very similar to NoSleep, but it has a different function. NoSleep will only prevent it from sleeping while the Mac lid is closed. So as far as that goes, it's pretty simple and straightforward app. You open up preferences and automatically start Caffeine. The duration, it could be 5 minutes indefinitely, or can as far as you want, but that's Caffeine. The next app that I'll quickly show you is called CPU LED, and it's this little icon right here. CPU LED basically tells you basically the stress that you're putting on your CPU. It's very good in the fact that it basically gives you an idea of how much stress you're putting on your computer when you're doing certain things. So if you're running while your computer's running slow, it will obviously tell you what kind of stress the computer is going on. So if you left click on CPU LED and click preferences, it basically has a refresh interval, so you can control how long it takes to refresh. But you can have your chipsets, and you actually have all these really cool things that you can choose from. So if I click color stack, it'll do that, and instead of just showing it for one, which I have it at the moment, you can make it show it for each processor only, which I've got 8 of, but I just have an average for all processors, and basically just gives you an idea on what's going on with the computer. So that's really good to have an idea when you're doing high strain work on your computer, and that's free as well. The next app I'll show you, which I think is really effective, is called Battery Guard. Battery Guard is a very cool app because it basically shows you what your current charge is. Now, obviously, we all know that we have a battery percentage up here, and you can just click to show whether you click show percentage or not. However, Battery Guard, the best thing is I think it gives you a more accurate reading as opposed to the time you have left than the Mac does itself. It tells you what your current charge is and actually gives you a number of, the mAh in your battery. It tells you what your current health is of your battery. So, if your battery's starting to degrade and, you're not getting as big a charge out of it, you'll find that out and they'll tell you that. It changes from time to time based on usage and based on CPU usage, so it gives you a very accurate, constant, up-to-date thing. It also tells you how long, you've charged, how many times you charge your battery, so if you've charged your battery for 20 cycles and whatnot, and so it gives you a bit of an idea of your battery life and just its actual life in general, and the temperature, which is also good to know with your battery. And it's very easy access. You just click and it pops open, so it's really easy to do. The next app I will show you is called Bandwidth Plus. Bandwidth Plus is really good to know if you want to keep on track on how much data usage you're using on your Mac, whether it be an iMac, Mac Pro, or your MacBook Pro. Constantly, especially on using a laptop, everything I do is wireless. And constantly a lot of surfing the web and stuff like that, I need to know how much data I'm using. So it's right up there in the corner, and it tells you basically how much data you've used in total on a certain Wi-Fi. So as you can see, I've got 3 Wi-Fis that I've connected to recently, and it actually tells you how much you've used in total on those on those specific wireless SSIDs. So it's really good, and you just click the reset button and it will reset, and you can just change that in the preferences anyways. But the best thing about that is it just gives you a constant idea, and if you start using the internet, it will go up, and it's a live update, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. Now I'll show you the last free app, and this is called Memory Clean. Memory Clean is actually a really good app, and it's this one right here, and it basically tells you how much RAM you have available to use. So you simply just, click on the top, and it actually tells you how much RAM that you have in the background. It obviously tells you how much RAM that you have wired, how much you have active, how much RAM you have free, and that's what it tells you up in the status bar, how much RAM you have free, and of course your total RAM. Best thing about it is you clean memory, and basically what it tries to do is while it goes through that process, it tries to eliminate any inactive RAM that you don't need, or any active RAM that's actually not being used by a program specifically, and it actually really tries to eliminate that to give you more free RAM. As you can see, I have 16 gig of RAM because I have the MacBook Pro 15-inch Retina model, and I obviously don't use up to 16 gig right now, just mucking around, not doing anything. But as you can see, it's cleaning the RAM, and obviously it may take a longer times a period, but I think it's a really good app, just to know when I'm doing more strenuous things on my Mac, that I just have an idea of what RAM I have left. And then you click clean, and basically what it does, closes down. As you can see, that inactive RAM just went right down, inactive RAM just dropped. Active RAM not so much, because it didn't close anything that I'm using, but it made sure that all that inactive RAM that I'm doing is just been eliminated completely. So my first paid app that I'm going to show you today is called Cinch. Now Cinch is $7.49 on the Mac App Store, and it's basically a personal preference thing, but I think it's a very, very useful tool. I used to use Windows 7 before switching over to Mac, and I still do use Windows 7, and one of my favorite features about Windows 7 is the whole thing that you can just drag the taskbar of an application and throw it into the side, and it will take only half the screen, or that half of the screen, or you swipe it up, it takes the full screen. That's not something that Mac offers. With Cinch, that is different. So this is the little icon you have for Cinch, and basically I've got Cinch enabled. So if I just pop open Safari, and there's Safari, and it's a bit weird, and let's just say I want to open it on the left hand side, I just grab the taskbar, throw it all the way over there, and as you can see, Cinch has given me little lines, and then I just let go, and it only takes up half. Same with the other side, just switch it over and pops back up. And if I want to pull it out, it goes back to the original size, throw it up, full size. It's such a brilliant app. It's just like what you would get with Windows 7. It's a beautiful, beautiful app, and it's very easy to use, very easy to set up. Just basically download it and it starts working itself. So, it's personal preference, and it's $7.49, so it's definitely an app you have to consider before buying, but it's a very good app that I use. Now, the next app I'm going to show you is, not necessarily an app that you need. However, I think it's useful to know, and it's called Temperature Gauge. Basically, my favorite thing is about this. This is showing my CPU temperature right now. You can go open up preferences and choose what you want to show as your main thing. You can show the heat of your RAM or whatever, but you click show temperature RPM and it shows you the temperature for everything of yours. Anything from your SSD to CPU, if you have a HDD, your fan speed, all that other kind of stuff, and it just basically shows you the temperature of the Mac. Useful thing to know, and it alerts you when you get too hot, hitting 80 degrees and stuff like that, stuff that your PC shouldn't be hitting. It also tells you like your palm rest, like the heat of the actual aluminium on a MacBook Pro that you're putting your hands on, how hot that is at that point in time. So it's a very useful app to have, and not necessarily something you need, but it is a useful app to have. The last and final app I'm going to show you today for my top 10 Mac utility apps is called Duplicate Detective. And as you guessed, it detects duplicate files and it deletes them. I did this with my music library and it's awesome. So you just open it up, click select a folder, or you can drag and drop easily. Lastly, one I did was my iTunes folder, so you just choose it and basically you click start scan, and it's that simple. It will go through, it scans all your files, and it goes through and it goes on your duplicates found. That's just because I've done this before to get rid of all my duplicate music files that irritate me in my iTunes library. But it's brilliant. It works and it removes all the duplicated files and anything close to it. So if a song name is a little bit different but they're exactly the same song, it basically, it pops it up and it recognizes it. And it lets you go through and choose it, and you get to pick which songs you want to keep and which ones to delete. And so, it's absolutely brilliant app. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave any comments below. Thanks.